The next part, we are going to move on to part 3, which is this page where you see some famous people. We've got Steven Spielberg. He's famous for directing movies in Hollywood. Isaac Newton, right? Bill Gates and Thomas Edison, the inventor for electricity, light bulbs. So we're going to read the story together. So if you use your little magic finger here, let's follow through the vocabulary. The title, I mean. Failure, the first step towards success. Now the subtitle. Many people who have found success started out by failing. Below are 4 of the most famous. So basically, by looking at the title and the subtitle, it's saying, hey, if you want to be successful, you have to fail. What do you think about that? Let's take a look at A. We have 4 parts, 4 paragraphs describing the 4 different famous people we have on the list. So let's read A together. Some people consider this man to be the greatest scientist who has ever lived. However, his early life was nothing special. He was very small as a child and he was a very bad student. When he was 12, his mother took him out of school so that he could learn how to run a family farm. Unfortunately, he wasn't very good at that either. So in the end, he was sent back to school. After eventually passing his exams, he went to Cambridge University where he became a brilliant scholar. Later, he developed his law of gravity. Who can this be? So please highlight law of gravity. Okay, what's gravity? It's what we call 地心引力. Okay, all right. And then highlight brilliant scholar, which is second to last line. Okay, a brilliant scholar. Scholar is what we call 学者. Okay, a brilliant scholar. Okay, eventually, 后来, eventually passing his exams. Okay, and then we'll move up. I don't think the rest is difficult for you guys, except for maybe the first line. It says some people consider this man. Consider just means think. So some people think this man is the greatest scientist who has ever lived. So who could A be? Let's take a look at B. This man is one of the most famous inventors of all time, which is incredible when you think he only went to school for 3 months. After his teacher lost patience with him, his mother taught him at home, and he learned many important lessons from reading books. His working life started as badly as his schooling had, and he was fired from his first 2 jobs. However, this gave him more time to experiment. By the end of his life, he had invented over 1,000 devices. His most famous invention was a certain type of light bulb. Please highlight light bulb. Light bulb is what we call 灯泡. Device means machines. Okay? Alright, invention. Invention means 发明. And the highlighted word lost patience just means 失去耐心. So who can this be? Okay, the next part we're going to take a look at the third person, C. So let's read it together. Ask anyone to name the most famous movie director in Hollywood, and many of them will say this man's name. However, his movie career started badly as he was rejected 3 times from film school. He eventually started his studies at a different school, but he dropped out to become a director before he had finished. Since then, he has won the Oscar for Best Director twice, and 3 of his movies had broken box office records. He went back to school in 2002 to finish his studies and earned his BA degree. Oh, BA degree. Please highlight that. BA degree just stands for bachelor's degree. Okay, bachelor's degree. No problem. That was what we were talking about here. Okay, the other keywords, let's take a look at C. If you take a look at the first line, you will see the word movie director. That is 电影导演 in Hollywood. And then the second line, you will see a word career. Career means 事业, right? And then the third line, you see the word rejected, 拒绝. So at first, when he wanted to make movies, he was rejected 3 times. Okay, nobody wanted to make his movies. And then the next keyword you will see is dropped out. Dropped out is what we call like not go to school, like 辍学, right? Dropped out of school. I think Bill Gates did the same thing, and a lot of other people kind of did that too, right? Dropped out of school. Okay, the next one is box office. Box office is what we call 票房. So a lot of this person's movies actually broke the box office records. So he's a very famous director. Okay, who can he be? Let's take a look at the the last person on our list. It's D. Let's read it together. Although he is one of the most successful businessmen and computer programmer of all time, this man didn't actually finish college. He was very bright at school and went to Harvard University, but he spent most of his time using the college's computer for his own projects and didn't do much studying. After dropping out, he decided to start his own company with a friend. This company failed, but he persisted and won a contract with IBM, which eventually resulted in his company becoming one of the most powerful and recognized brands in the world today. Who can this be? So let's take a look at the first line. Okay, you will see the word computer programmer. Anybody know what that is? A computer programmer is what we call, what would you call that? 程式人员, something like that, who writes the computer programs. And then the second word you might want to know is Harvard University, one of the top schools in the world. And then drop out again. And then eventually brand, 品牌. So who is this guy? Now I'm going to leave this page on the net for you guys to look at. So please remember to complete the exercises here. All right.